I invite you to connect with the voices of the Bible as we explore the story of Pilate's sign, a proclamation that told the truth in 3 languages for everyone to read. Picture yourself in Jerusalem on that Friday afternoon. The streets are crowded with Passover pilgrims. The smell of sacrificial lambs drifts from the temple, and through the chaos, a procession pushes towards the city gate. Roman soldiers escorting a man carrying the wooden beam that will soon hold his body. You follow the crowd to a place called Golgotha, the skull. You watch as soldiers strip him, nail him to the cross, and hoist him up between 2 other condemned men. And then you notice something above his head, a sign painted in 3 languages. Today we listen to the voice of that sign and what it proclaimed to the world. John tells us that Pilate had a public notice written and posted on the cross. This was standard Roman practice. When someone was crucified, a sign called a titulus identified the criminal and the charge. It served as both explanation and warning. This is what happens when you challenge Rome. The sign Pilate ordered was simple: Jesus, the Nazarene, the King of the Jews. What makes this remarkable is that Pilate wrote it in 3 languages: Aramaic, Latin, and Greek. Aramaic was the local language, what ordinary Jewish people spoke at home. Latin was the official language of the Roman Empire, the language of law and military power. Greek was the common language of commerce and culture across the Mediterranean world. In other words, Pilate made sure everyone could read it. The local population, the Roman officials, the international visitors, nobody would miss this message. The Jewish priests were furious. They understood exactly what Pilate had done. By writing the King of the Jews rather than "this man claimed to be the King of the Jews," Pilate had made a statement of fact, not an accusation. So they complained. "Don't write the King of the Jews," they protested. "Write that he said, 'I am the King of the Jews.'" They wanted the sign to identify Jesus as a deluded pretender, not to proclaim him as actual royalty. Pilate's response is one of the most fascinating lines in the Passion narrative. "What I've written, I've written." This Roman governor who'd washed his hands of Jesus just hours earlier, who'd tried to release him, who'd caved to the crowd's demands, this same man now refuses to change a single word. The sign would stand. And here's the profound irony. Pilate wrote truth he didn't fully understand. He intended the sign as mockery, as a final insult, but the sign proclaimed exactly who Jesus was, in 3 languages, so the whole world could read it. The Roman governor announced that this crucified man was indeed a king. The cross became a throne. The crown of thorns became a crown of glory. The place of execution became the place of coronation. This sign raises a question for us. What do we proclaim about Jesus, and who can read it? Pilate's sign worked because everyone could understand it. He didn't write in one language and expect people to figure it out. He met people where they were, in their own tongue, their own context, their own experience. When we witness to who Jesus is, we face the same challenge. The good news isn't meant to stay locked in the church language that only insiders understand. It's meant to be proclaimed in ways that everyone can read, through our words, yes, but also through our actions, our priorities, our presence. Think about your own life as a sign. What does it proclaim? Who can read it? Maybe your sign is written in the language of kindness to a difficult coworker. Maybe it's written in the language of generosity when resources are tight. Maybe it's written in the language of showing up when someone is suffering. Maybe it's written in the language of an actual invitation. Would you like to come to church with me? The religious leaders wanted to edit the message, to soften it, to make it less direct. But Pilate's words stand as a reminder. Sometimes the truth just needs to be stated clearly. What I've written, I've written. Pilate refused to change his sign, and it proclaimed the truth for all the world to see. This Palm Sunday, as we wave branches and then walk toward the cross, we become witnesses to what happened at Golgotha. We've seen the King crowned, not with gold, but with thorns, not on a throne, but on a cross. And now the question is, what will we proclaim? And who will be able to read it? We pray that our lives will be signs that point others to the crucified and risen King, written in every language of love so that no one misses the message.